Um, my name is Danish. I am an options trader with S&P futures. That's what I do. But we can discuss about any chart. Um, with regards to question about COVID and the vaccine, um, that's more of a news thing which I do not usually follow. My thing is mostly into chart reading and looking at the fall from Friday. uh, I can say that yeah, we hit a resistance level because we were we are just short of all-time high, and resistance is normal during this kind of growth phase. We can look at multiple indices, especially Nasdaq. It's at all-time high, uh, so it is bound to face resistance. Mm, So it's up in the clouds, as they say. So two out of three major indices, Nasdaq, uh, S&P, and Russell. Um, they cover most of the market in US. Two of the three major indices are close to all-time high, and hence the resistance. Um, Last week, for I mean, if you guys were in the call last week, we did discuss that there's a pin information happening on Russell, and that we would have a breakout, and we did have a breakout on a daily chart. So this is where Russell stands uh, after this breakout. And Nasdaq, as we had already discussed, is all-time high. And it failed from a Fibonacci level. 11,065 was the resistance. That's where it failed, and it's expected for it to stop at this point of time. That's what I would say. Um, if you have any questions, please feel free to shoot.
What is the expectation next week? And is it going to go down? And how many points are we expecting it to go down?
Who's that? Sudhir. For what?
Yeah.
You're talking about
S&P
Nasdaq?
index. SPY.
Oh
SPY. SPY.
yes. Let's see. I think we're going to go sideways. We're going to go sideways again. This is just forming another, handle on the way up, because I don't see any major reason to drop down. And uh, one way of looking why I see if it is falling down steep or not, if there is enough momentum to fall, is I look at the hourly chart, and when I see, like, slow and gradual rolling hills, it's like, yeah, it's going down, but there is enough pressure to keep it, you know pumped up. It's not falling like a rock here. So that gives me me a confidence that it'll stay sideways.
For how long?
For how long?
Means like next week only, or like after that, do we think that it would be falling down? What's the expectation based on technical?
Let's see that as well.
So in case if I have to get into a say like a VIX strategy or a SPY index or a short of SPY index, what should be like? And if I'm looking for the August 19 trades, VIX.
Oh my God, that's too far away.
Yeah.
I don't think that far away. I usually try to see if I can predict up to 2 days ahead or maybe a week ahead. That's my thing. Like probably next 2 daily candles or next 1 weekly candle is what I try to figure out. Um, Let me see if I can make a channel. We're still in the channel. That's for sure. Maybe we would. So one thing I'd see is here. Let me show you. Was that who was that? Sudhir, right?
Yeah, that's me.
If you can see this is the line chart on daily. It's like slowly sloping downwards. What I see, what I interpret from this is, it is trying to slow down the fall and go back upwards. Hamza is saying he cannot hear. Can you all hear me? Or is it just one of a few of you?
I can hear
I
you.
can hear you. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So what I see in this chart is it's kind of slowing down the fall. And if this can be seen on a daily, I'm pretty sure it can be very well seen on a 4 hour. It's like kind of stopping on the way down. It's not like one of those days a few months back when the whole world was crashing down. And the reason for this, I personally feel, is because we need to let the market breathe. If you just see at sorry, the candlestick chart, see how we have a pattern of like 3 to 5 green days and then followed by a few red days. But most of the time it's like a streak of green followed by a few red days, then a streak of green followed by a few red days. So I'm just expecting another maybe a day or two of red before we bounce back up. So hopefully if we stay in this channel, if we are following this channel, probably today maybe we hit this level here and go back up from here. 3180 is the line in the sand. Because if you notice, when we opened this morning here in Sydney, it opened gap up here. Look at this one. It opened gap up and then it fell down. So there is the market making forces which are trying to keep it up. Just that. For now, the bears are winning the game. Is how I see it. That's the hourly. It opened here. Try to go up all the way. And now it's falling. but I assume it should, in my analysis, it should bounce back up from 80s, 3180, somewhere around that number, and tomorrow it should try to be form a doji. Red or green doesn't matter. It would be possibly a doji day tomorrow. That's how I would see. So I could use the same analysis for a week to answer your question. And for now, we are trying to test the channel. Look at this. So we had a similar week here when we were testing it. But we have been in a pretty strong channel on an uptrend. And again, the weekly momentum is still pretty, uptrend, I would say. Let's see, monthly. Monthly is still trying to turn back upwards. So in a longer term perspective, I'm not bothered about it. A few days or a few weeks doesn't make a big deal. So probably on August, let's see, August 19, you said, right? Let's see if we can figure that part out. It should say somewhere around here. If it follows this channel.
Okay.
32.
So that's
9.
32. Yeah.
This is the blue line, right? See, so this blue line I drew because this was the place where it failed. This is a line of resistance. This is the line of resistance. I'll show you how I drew this line. Okay. I think I drew it on monthly. Oh, this was the day. This is a support / resistance line here. On the way up, when the world was a happy place, we stopped at this line right here. We fell down and this line became a resistance line here. And this time it did not even stop. So back on the way up, this line is acting up again. And remember, this was here is the neckline. This is the neckline for this last major leg down at 32.30, 31.30, 31.29.5. That's the neckline. So we stayed at this neckline for quite a while. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 trading days. We could not take off from here. And even now, so as I say, we are just midway between all-time high and the neckline. We failed at midway, and 50% is a big number. We have to cross this distance. Beyond this point, it's like a vacuum. So one major thing to figure out here is, one major factor for anybody to understand is, nobody gets to gain if the market falls at this point of time. Nobody gets to gain anything if we fall this time at this point. I hope you guys agree on that part.
So if somebody is shorting or somebody is into VIX big way.
Yeah, so as I said, right, 2 out of 3 major indices are at all-time, like close to, one is above all-time, one is already at all-time high, second one is pretty close to all-time high, and third one is like 50% up already. So we're just facing resistance on the way up. If you can, I mean, if you can see, like this is sticking to this channel, goes up, cannot break this level, breaches, you know, test this level, breaks down, again stays within the channel. So I don't know, hold on, let me show you something. I'll just go to weekly. Turn off this moving average, put on a trend line. Touching all of these major dips here, ignoring this one, the last one for now. Similarly, from this top to all these tops, trying to cover up most of them, if not all of them, ignoring the last one. If you look at this, what they call it, gramophone, what do you call, I forgot. It's like expanding channel kind of thing. We never broke this trend. If you look at it this way, I drew that on a weekly chart, but look at it on a monthly. We never broke this trend at all. This line is like stopping it from falling down, and probably the same line is kind of stopping it from going up, like in one straight, you know, like an arrow. It would stop it and then let it go. So it's always a struggle on the way up. Look at it this way, going back 11 years, all the way back to 2008. Every time it hits the top, goes down, hits top, goes down, hits, you know, this is not even top. Again, tries to go back up, stops, up, down, but it stays within the channel. So if I were to look at it the same way on a daily, it's behaving the similar manner. Just sticking to this general trend up. Now it has to breach this solid blue line. That's the thing. That's what is stopping it.
So Dash, can you show that on the daily chart, the channel?
Which channel? This is the daily chart. I just moved back from monthly to daily right now. So this solid blue line on the top and bottom is that channel I drew on weekly, and I showed it to you on monthly. And now we are looking at a daily chart right now. We can zoom out as much as we can, and there is the daily chart. There's the maximum zoom out on a daily chart within the same channel. 11-year-old bull run. Yeah. So these are the outliers. Whenever there is an outlier, there is a push down, outlier, push down. But then this is also an outlier, and then hence push up. This was the 2018 downtrend. came down like 20%. Yeah, 20%, but stayed within this major trend line, these two major trend lines. So what I see now on a daily chart is going sideways. It'll keep going sideways probably a couple of days, hopefully, and it might go back up. Because one small green candle here or a red candle here, and then it goes up again and then comes down within the same channel and stays within this range. The range bound is good. The range bound proves that there is enough support to keep it up, and there is a strong enough resistance on the top to keep it from going up. And I personally feel resistance is good, because stronger the resistance, stronger the support it becomes when we cross that level. So like right now, 31.29 is a very strong support, because it took us quite some time to get away from this level. Anybody else?
Anish, one question. It's Ankit here.
Sure.
Yeah. On daily chart, when you have drawn two, basically it's support and resistance, the resistance thing which you have drawn basically to touching the peak. But if you see there are two more peaks before that, if you draw that line, it becomes
This
kind of cone instead of just, yep, that line. So
this one right
I know
here.
you've drawn that using, yeah. So instead of drawing that, if you take the below two, like the first two tops, if you go left,
This
on in April, May, you see there are two tops,
this
April and May, between April and May.
April
Yep.
and May. Okay,
If you
this
see
one
there are
and
two
this one.
tops,
Okay.
so if you use, correct. So if you draw these two lines, it becomes a cone, right? So why we draw that trend line using that top instead of not that? And yeah, and if you touch the third one also, it becomes kind of cone.
Oh, you're saying rising wedge.
Yeah.
It's not a rising wedge. I could try to do that, and I'll show you. Hold on. Let's do that. That's one line. And yeah, let's see. No. So that how you
No,
test it is, yeah. Go
sorry,
ahead.
sorry. I was not saying rising wedge. What I was saying is that basically the resistance line you have drawn based on just touching the one peak. But if you touch all these peaks, it is a much better trend line, right? A much better resistance line.
I mean, I could, as I said, I was creating a channel. It was a parallel channel.
Correct.
I could reduce the parallel channel to this level, but it still remains within the channel, and this becomes an outlier in that case. That's fine.
Correct.
That's absolutely fine. Yeah, that's fine. The best way to check a channel formation is if you turn it into a line chart, it should stick within this line. For example, I drew, I used to draw this channel on the way down. This was a perfect channel on the way down. If you could just see that. Now suddenly, all of these these candles, when you convert it into a candle chart, they start respecting the channel. They just start lining up. So that's fine. If you leave these outliers, that's fine. It was a big momentum up, and hence, this was a resistance level at this point. 3240 was a big resistance. And it is probably having the same problem trying to break 3240 again. It did break it once, but again, second time. Usually third time is a charm. Usually third time is a charm. I assume it's still going. We have started going back up. Yep, started going back up from that channel. Look at that, Ankit. Okay, this is happening right now. I did not even realize it. Remember that channel we drew on a daily. Now we are looking at a 5-minute chart, and this just happened today morning. Okay. It's going back up. Now I could call this a falling wedge, just so you know.
Correct. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, right. This is a falling wedge, right?
Correct. Yes.
How do we test it? We just turn it into a line chart. And boom, there you go. It's squeezing into this corner. The snake will squeeze into this corner and then shoot up, right?
Yep.
We all have seen that kind of scenario.
Very
so
common.
You can do that on, you can do that on any kind of chart, right? Any stock. I mean, we are doing. I mean, I personally love this particular ticker because it's live 23 hours a day, 5 days a week. Whenever you want to see market, it's almost always there for you to analyze.
Which ticker is that again, Danish?
S&P 500 futures.
Okay.
Who was that?
Danish Sayed here.
Okay, yeah. So this is S&P 500 futures. It's live 23 hours a day. You can trade 23 hours a day, 5 days a week. And, so on 15 minutes also, it is also again forming a falling wedge. Falling wedge, for people who are new, is a bullish pattern. Rising wedge, on the other hand, is a bearish pattern. Okay, if you can see, that was Ankit, right? If you look at it on a 30-minute chart, you will see something interesting. I'll show you something interesting right now. Now here comes a bullish engulfing, right?
Yes. Assuming it's a gulping because it's still going up.
Yeah, it is going up now, right?
Yep.
This is a bullish engulfing pattern right here.
Correct.
So there are enough forces in the market makers. They just want to take money from investors like you and I, because they know we will panic. The retail investors will panic. And the big guys will take our money and take it to the moon. That's how the rich keep getting richer, right?
Yes.
Wow, this is a beautiful candle for me right now.
How does Russell look like then? Today?
Which one?
Russell right now at this moment.
I did not understand what you're saying.
Another index, Russell index.
Russell.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. I'm looking at Russell futures because they are also live. Futures are live 23 hours a day, no matter what index you pick. Let's get back to daily. Still respecting the channel. This is Russell here, today's candle. Let's look at it on an hourly or a smaller granulation. And zoom out. It's respecting this line for now. No, this is something I made. No, not this one. So if you can see on an hourly, it just kind of sticks to this line. See? It tries to go back up. And yeah, there is a resistance here on this line. For 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 straight hours, 6 straight hours, it tries to breach this red line and it cannot. The candles just start lining up here. And on the 6th hour, it just, gives up, falls down. And right now it's trying to follow its peers like S&P, Nasdaq. It's just following that cue.
Another support for this.
Support for Russell?
Yeah, the bottom.
Let's see, what are we looking at? Let's go to daily. Let me do this. I mean, for Russell, the next support is at 1400 range, but that's too far away. We will stay within this range. So for Russell, the support right now today would be at 1440. That should be the range for Russell today. It should not fall below 1440. I'm just eyeballing. See, 1441.
Okay.
It should not fall below this line.
If it falls, it may continue downward.
It should not fall. I don't see a reason for it to fall. Let's see how. Look at this. Okay, this should give you a reason why. The moving average is still moving upwards, even though the candle is down. So it has to continue down for few more days or a big fall like this. And as I say, I always look at an hourly chart or okay, this is nothing to be concerned about. This is like a structured fall. I guess, let me see. If Bala is on the call, right? Bala would know what is structured. We had a big discussion about it. If Bala, he can unmute yourself, Bala. I don't know, was facing some technical issues. This is a structured fall. How do I think it's a structured fall? Why do I think? So this is not something like this, see? Or rather, if we go back on the left-hand side of the graph, this is a crash, and here the fall is stopping not because of the market. It is falling, it's stopping because of the circuit breakers. If you guys remember, who was that who asked this question about Russell? I didn't get your name. Shabir. Okay. So here it was stopping not because the market was stopping, but because there were circuit breakers. Do you see the circuit breakers here? Do you see the circuit breakers? Yes, no?
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So the circuit breakers were stopping the fall here. Whereas as of now, there are no circuit breakers which are stopping this fall. These are the market making forces. They want people like you and I to get scared. They just want people like you and I to get scared so that they can buy this whole opportunity. Because Russell still has a long way to go up. That's the point. After Nasdaq has become too expensive and S&P is already at all-time, close to all-time high. The next big thing to invest their money in for the market makers is Russell. 2,000 small companies. And why is Russell stopping here? Because again, we know it is at a neckline that it failed here a month back, 8th of June, 9th of June. And we're still trying to go back up at this level, 1524. 1520 to 1530, 40, you may say, that 20 point region. That's the next resistance on Russell. I do follow Russell because I have invested in TNA, which follows Russell. So that's my take on Russell.
So how long do you think this uptrend will be there in Russell? Maybe 6 months?
Uptrend?
Yes.
Once we cross this neckline, I don't think we're stopping.
Okay.
Yeah, if you're trading TNA, the best bet is buy in the money call spreads and sell out of money calls. That's
Oh,
what
yeah.
I've been doing.
So I do something slightly different, Jay. I
Yep.
wanted to get your inputs, by the way, honestly.
Okay.
Okay. So what I'm doing is I'm going long on TNA. Okay, plain and simple long.
Right. Okay.
And I try to keep my call at a level where I would not get hit, and I keep
Right. Right.
collecting my rent every week. So about
Correct.
1 to 1.5% a week.
Right.
I can have my cake and eat it too, right?
Correct. Right now, it's safe to do like sell 31 calls weekly.
Oh yeah, that's what you got my number. I'm 31.5.
Okay. That's
I
about right.
was in at 31.5, and I then rolled again from 31.5 to 31.5. We are
Right.
staying in this channel, right?
Right. 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 So that's what I've been doing. So I did last week. Made
Okay.
money. Okay.
Two
Good. Good
different
stuff.
continents, same thought process.
What can we say? Because
We all want to
Charles
make
speak
money, man.
Charles speaks the same language,
Yeah.
whether it's
So
German,
Dan,
French, or
yeah,
Italian.
Danish, if I may ask a question here.
Sure. Who's that?
Yeah. This is Mustafa from New Jersey.
Yes. Yes.
I mean, we're looking at Dow with 30 companies. We're looking at S&P with 500 companies and Russell with 2,000 companies. Now, technical chart is telling us one thing, which is good that we sort of follow the history. But if you look at the reality is that with the pandemic, we have a number of small companies that are sort of winding down. So I don't know what the impact is on the overall Russell, so to speak.
So here is what is my take on that. I'm not that old to say that I have seen it all. That's my honest confession. But I have seen my father, and my father used to carry a portable typewriter when I was a kid, and then came in the age of computers, and now here we are. Everybody has a phone in their pocket. So what I have seen in 36 years of my existence on planet Earth is that whenever this controlled destruction takes place, like it's happening now, and it's not uncontrollable, it's controlled because you know no government wants the whole economy to fail. So one way or another, they try to control the explosion. And with that, I truly agree with what you are saying. I hope you do understand that also opens up doors for many newer opportunities, right?
Yes.
A whole set of different jobs which don't even exist. I cannot even fathom what kind of jobs would that be. Like my father, I remember in 90s when I was a kid, fax used to be a big thing. Like somebody has a fax machine at their home. And for me, it was a fascination. Instead of putting a letter in the mailbox, you put it in a machine, and the recipient receives it right away. And we had not even imagined what an email was, and that opened a new set of jobs, small, medium, large, whatever kind of companies you may think of. But those companies filled in those gaps, which fax machines left, right?
Yep. But see, what is happening is if you look at the 2008, if you even look at the Silicon Valley bubble, the burst, the economy, or I mean, the countries were not shut down.
Yes, I agree, totally agree. So here is what I personally feel, and I'm honest to accept that. I say that I'm smart enough to accept that I'm dumb not to understand all of those things. And when I say that, I mean the market makers already know these things, right?
Yeah.
I mean, whatever is the market maker making force at that point of time, they already know it. It is news for us. It's not news for them. They're the news makers. So I was just listening to an interview from 1999 of Jeff Bezos when Amazon had just crossed $30 billion mark. And it was a big thing for Amazon at that point of time. If you listen to that interview, and if you listen to what if you look at what Amazon is doing now, they are constantly evolving, and they're creating opportunities for smaller businesses as well. They evolve and they let others evolve as well. So that's the thing, right? Evolution, like survival of the fittest, even in economy, even in our jobs. Like whoever is the best performing person in the company, they get to keep their job, and well, others are always given a golden handshake. And honestly speaking, what happened with COVID was those people who were in the line for golden handshake, the employers just found an excuse to let them go. That's the harsh reality, right? That's what we all are living in. So I totally agree with fundamental analysis. I just say that I am unable to wrap my head around it's so vast, and I let the market makers do their job, and I just look at the chart. Speaking the language of charts across different languages, just like Jay confirmed my analysis.
Because even I know you sort of carry a heavy the portfolio for TNA, and I have sort of the fairly sort of sizable portion of my portfolio in TNA, only because same reason you look at it, S&P is almost made up all the losses for the year. The Nasdaq is about 18%, and it's the Russell which has to do a catch up.
Mm-hmm. So one more thing. Yeah. So Russell has to do catch up, but all these indices, no matter what, and not just these three names, pick whatever name in the world you want to pick, from Nikkei to ASX here in Australia to Nifty in India, whatever. The index is not a family car. It's a public transport vehicle. Companies who are not eligible to afford that ticket on that vehicle, they are shown the door. They're not welcome. Like S&P itself has like 30 companies on the chopping block. You know that, right?
Yes.
So if there are 30 companies going out, there are certainly 30 companies that are coming back in.
Yeah.
So same is the case for Russell, right? If the small companies or medium companies who are unable to make that mark of criteria for Russell, well, there is somebody else to fill in their shoes. By the way, I was looking at somebody had asked me about NKLA, okay, Nikola Corporation, and I said, look at this chart. It's not worth investing in my opinion, because I don't want to put my money in a place where it will not grow. And I said, look at NKLA, compare that with NIO, and that's about the same age approximately. NKLA is relatively newer, but NIO has similar chart versus HLAL. This is an ETF. Now, even though they have similar age, less than 2 years, this is an ETF, whereas those are individual stocks. I could have made money here and here on this single ETF. Shorting the ETF here, going long over here. But individual stocks who do, and Zoom, yeah, third was Zoom, the company, yeah, Zoom. Now look at Zoom. Now this is a real contender for Russell, right? Hello.
Yes.
So these kind of companies. So this is a relatively smaller company, right? Small and medium cap.
Well, it's getting bigger and bigger day by
Yeah,
day.
yeah, it's getting bigger and bigger. So it'll climb. Probably it'll climb Russell, and then probably it might go to the big boys club
Yeah.
eventually. That's the thing, right? Constructive destruction.
Yeah.
So in April, on April 22nd to be precise, I told somebody, yep, 22nd of April, 22nd or 24th of April, I told in a group to buy Zoom. It was at 170, and I told them it'll go to 200 plus. And there was a person in that group who says, well, I don't trust a company which is only 6 months old and it has given like 300% returns. And I said, what's your issue with that? If somebody is growing, all you should be caring about is growing your money with that company, right? So from 24th of April to within a couple of months, it was already at 200 plus. Somebody wants to know about Bank Nifty India. Let's check it out. That's Chandu, right? Chandrasekhar.
If you have time. Yeah, Danish.
Sure.
You have time.
No worries. Bank Nifty.
It's one of the most volatile index than Nifty.
Yeah. So the thing with Indian market is that I've seen. I did try to analyze quite a few times earlier, and one thing that I've seen is there is a lot of uncertainty based on what the government policies may or may not happen, and what the big players in the market can do or are willing to do. So let's say Bank Nifty, you're setting precariously at a support level, 22,348. That's the support / resistance level on Bank Nifty today. Babar
So
said,
we have to watch for this line to cross this 22,000 mark, whether it's going to fall further down.
Let's see. This is Bank Nifty index. Let's see futures.
Yeah, that's one.
Ooh. $22,506. Let's see if it is going up or going down from this level. I don't think there is enough data. That's one more thing. If there is not enough data, we cannot analyze it.
No, because you are in a continuous current contract month, because this expires every month.
Okay, so is the case with ES, like S&P 500 futures.
Yeah, same. So we have to select something else, not the current one.
Okay, tell me which one to select.
Yeah, just see the first one, Nifty Bank Index Futures. The first one, yeah.
This one, it's giving me two options.
No, the top one.
The top one is not letting me select it. It's just giving me two options. All these options are within this top one.
Yeah, then I think can't do that.
Yeah. Let's go for TQQQ. Up in the sky. Up in the sky. See how it is. So okay, Babar. Can you see how it just touches this 100.74 and stops right here? Let me go on an hourly chart and then I might be able to show it to you. Let's go to 5 minutes or 15 minutes. See, goes to this level and then, you know, hits the hard resistance / support and goes back up. Now, if I can say so, this is a pennant formation happening. How many people can see a pennant happening right now? Anybody? Nobody? That's a beautiful pennant on the way down. Do you see that? We might go down further. Test 100.7 again. Probably. But TQQQ is not the right instrument to analyze if you are in TQQQ. I would rather analyze NASDAQ. And NASDAQ is stopping because it is up in the clouds. Just failed this resistance. This support could not hold, and hence we failed again. Still trying to go back up. Let's see on an hourly chart. This is live right now. So it's trying to go back up. This is trying to go back. This is again a clear bullish engulfing, but there was a lot of selling pressure here. This is profit booking, so if you may call it.
How do you find out that it's a profit booking?
Because there is no other reason for anybody else to sell here. It's only so if you can see why is it not falling for such a long time? If it were a panic sell, if it was a panic selling, it would have been a moment like it was. This was a bull run, right? This was a bull run, right? Nobody is stopping to sell at this point of time. There are more buyers than sellers here. But what happens on the way down? Why is not everybody dumping? Some people are selling, but there are enough buyers to keep it hanging around here. Again, selling pressure, then hanging around here. Selling pressure, hanging around here. Whenever you see a big candle of any color, you should know that that team is winning. Like on this particular green candle, the buyers outnumber the sellers, and hence the price is going up.
Okay,
right?
it's based on the body of the candle, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Who's that? Who asked that question?
It's Babar. So
okay. So Babar, if you can see on the way down, look. So that's the cardinal rule of chart reading, and whoever is a seasoned chart reader here, he will tell you. If you want to see what's on the right side of the chart, look at the left side of the chart. Look, there are no buyers here. This is a panic selling. There is nobody to stop it from falling, except SEC itself, Uncle Sam itself, is stopping the market here. And that's like, just because my kid is crying, because he's not able to win a game, I intervene and I say, you know what, let's take a break. This is rigging the game, right? The whole market is rigged to go back up. See? Circuit breaker. 3 circuit breakers consecutively. But on the way up, look at this. Constant climb. Constant climb. This is Amazon's and Zoom's and Microsoft's and whatever remote software, remote working companies and tech companies which try to fill in the gap that was left by the big guys on the left hand side. That's what is happening here on the way up. There is no stopping. I'll try to see something on a 5-minute chart. It's just resisting the fall. That's all what I see, because here is what I'm looking at. Jay, are we speaking the same language? Babar, so do you see how it's getting trapped between these levels, these price lines?
Yes.
There is a glass ceiling and there is a glass floor. It's not letting it go up or down. Somebody is asking about FTSE. Murtaza. FTSE 100. Is this the one?
No, it's a Financial Time.
Oh, hold on. Help me here. Or should I just write Financial Times?
Yeah, I was also having a hard time figuring it out. It's like Unilever is one of them, and maybe some other companies.
Is that an index or?
Yeah, it's an index. You Google.
Google. FTSE 100. UKX is the key symbol. Excuse me.
Sure.
X. UK 100 index. Okay. Okay. Are you from UK?
No, I'm from US. But the company I work for, Unilever.
Okay. This looks pretty similar to Nifty, Bank Nifty that we were looking at, right? Okay. Failed the resistance level. 62, 69.70, if you may call it. And the next support is 59.65. By the way, it's not a bad news. It's in what I see is box. This is in a box. This is in a box. Box is good, just so you know. Box is good. Box only means that the pressure is building up, and one fine day it'll just shoot up. ES was in a box, just so you know. ES was in a box more than once in recent times. There is a box here. There is a box here. So I know we have almost been an hour into the call, and I plan to do this every week at around the same time. If everybody would like to join in at the same time, or we can move the time a little bit if you like.
I mean, this sounds like a good time.
Okay, Sunday evening.
Yes.
Okay, so this was a box on S&P here, and there was another bigger box here, which I had drawn at a time. But this was the latest box on ES. So UKX is having a similar formation. Okay. Not the same, but similar, just in a box. All right, any other question before we break, or is that it?
Thank you, Danish.
All right, welcome, guys.
Thank you, Danish.